Hello and welcome to All Around the Board. Today we're going to be taking a look at the base game of Azul. Now I recently had a comment from someone I know saying, Darius, I loved your expansion for Azul video, but I don't know how to play Azul. So here it is. I will be teaching you today how to play the game, how it generally works, and at the end I'll give my final thoughts. Okay, so before I show you how Azul works, I'm going to show you how to set the game up. As you can see, there's not a lot to it, so let's quickly go through it. So the first thing you need to do is give each player a player board, and it is worth noting that the player boards are double-sided. The side with the grey squares is the expert variant, but for this video we're going to be using the beginner variant so you guys can get to grips with how the game works. Then give each player a cube and pop that on the 0 space on the score track. Then you need to lay out some tiles. Now, depending on the amount of players, depends on how many goes out. We're setting up for a 2-player game, so we need 5 tiles. If you were playing with 3 players, you would use 7 tiles, and if it were 4 players, you'd use 9. Then grab the 1 tile and just pop that in the middle of the play area. Then place all of your tiles into this bag and give them a shuffle. They are very noisy because these tiles are actually made of plastic. They're quite chunky and perfect for playing outside. Once you've given them a shuffle, you need to put 4 tiles on each window. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And now we are completely set up, ready for a game of Azul. Now I've got something just to the side here, a little pot. Just to make your game easier, I would suggest getting something very similar. Now when you play, you're going to be discarding tiles and you're going to spend them and you're going to throw them into a discard. Now if that bag ever runs out, you need to fill it back up. So rather than picking them all up, you can just tip that into the bag and you can go again. It just makes playtime a little bit quicker. So yeah, there's my suggestion. Now we're fully set up to play, I can show you how the game works. So firstly, how do you win Azul? The player with the most points at the end of the game is going to be the winner. The way you get points is by creating combos. To do that, you'll be collecting tiles, and I'll show you how that works throughout the game. But when you place your tiles, you'll be putting them onto this area here. When you place one, you simply get a point. When you place another one that then has some in its column and potentially in its row, you're going to score that way and that way. So in this example, I would then score another 2 points. If I were then to get a blue and I place it here, I'll then score myself a further 3 points. So you can see the more tiles that go down, the more of a combo you're going to get. Now I'll show you that again in more detail, but that is the main way to get your points. You're also going to get some endgame points, so for every row that you complete is going to give you 2 points. For every column that you complete will give you 7 points. And if you manage to get a colour set that is 5 of the same colour, you're going to get 10 points per. So if I had all the blue and all the red, I'd actually get myself 20 points. So there's some big points to get at the end of the game as well. So how do we get the tiles? So what will happen on your turn, and it will be the first player and then going clockwise until all the tiles have gone, you're going to select one of these discs and you're going to take all of one colour. So for example, I'm going to get started here and I'm going to take all 3 yellow tiles here, and then you're going to place them onto your board. Now I'm going to place them here and I'll explain why a bit later, but yeah, I'm just going to place them there. Now you'll notice that the colour that I did not take, or if there was multiple colours of what I didn't take, it goes in the middle. From now on, you can either select from one of the tiles or you can pick from the middle. But if I'm the first person to pick from the middle, say if I took that one, I would have to take the first player marker as well. Anything like the first player marker that might end up down the bottom, unfortunately will get me some minus points when it comes to the scoring phase. Again, I will show you how that works a bit later on. So I've taken my 3 yellow and I've filled up this slot. Why have I chosen the 3 and not a single? Well, you'll notice that I've got a 1 slot, 2 slot, 3 slot, 4 slot and a 5 slot. It's a lot harder to fill in this slot. When you come to the scoring phase, you will only score a tile if this row is full. If, for example, I didn't have one there and it was a scoring phase, then this would not move over and I can't actually score it. So the more spaces there are down here, the harder it is to fill up. So you'll fill up probably these 2 rows quite easily, maybe this one, it's very rare to fill up an entire row down the bottom here. But yeah, the most I can get, the better. So I've taken my 3 yellow. It'll then go on to this player. And again, they're looking for as many tiles as possible. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and give them the 2 red. And the 2 red will go just in here. Okay, back to this player. And I've got a little bit of a choice here. I can either take 2 blue from here, but just so I don't keep adding to the middle, I think I'm going to show you guys what happens when I take these 2 light blue. So, the 2 light blue I can pop into this area here, and the 1 means I get the first turn on the next go, but it does mean I lose a point. So yeah, that's just going to sit down the bottom there. Then it's back to this player's turn, and yeah, there's a 2 light blue, but we're looking for combos. So actually, there's I'm going to be placing the red here at the end of the turn because this is full. So I think I'm going to go ahead and take the single black. So then when this moves over, this will get 1 point, and then when this moves over, it will get me a further 2, netting 3 points. Again, I will show you that in more detail when we do the score. So looking at what I have here, I'm going to be filling in this space and this space. I kind of want something that combos with them, so I'm going to go ahead and get a single dark blue. And again, the other 3 move into the middle, and my dark blue just goes there. Back to this player. What shall I give them? So black, red, so ideally I want to give them some yellow. So let's start collecting some yellow. So I'm going to pop that just there. Back to this player, and I will start to work towards, I think I'm going to start working towards some dark blue. No, that would be a bad mistake. No, let's get 2 light blue. Let's try and get a colour set by the end of the game. So there you go, that goes in just like that. Back to this player, and we're going to go ahead and take that other yellow so we can start filling that up. Back to this player, and I'm going to take this single light blue and fit that just in there. This player's turn now, and I think we're going to go for, see, I could start dark blue. Yeah, let's start that. I'm going to pop the dark blue just there. This player has then got no choice but to take one of those. I think I'm going to take the 3 red, so it'll be easier to fill up my 5 on the next turn. Anything that doesn't get filled this turn will stay to the next round. And then we're going to go back to this player, and this player has to take it. They can either place it here, or you can choose to place them down the bottom, but it's going to get minus points. So I'm just going to fill up this space here. Okay, that is the end of the round. It is as simple as that. It's just 1 turn, 1 turn, 1 turn. The downtime is so minimal, and yeah, sometimes you get a bit of analysis paralysis, but not often. So let's do the score. So we're going to show you how this one scores. So this one is going to move over and get myself 1 point. It is important that you move and then score, and then move, then score, because you're going to see right now that I'm now going to get a combo. Because this one's already here, I place that and I'm going to get 1, 2 points. And this one goes in the discard. Remember what I said about the tin there? Then this one's going to move over and I'm going to score 1 point. And these 2 are not filled, so they don't move over, they stay there till the next round. Then finally I've got to put this back in the middle. I'll be going first, but I lose 1 point. So I've netted myself 3 points from that go. Going over to this side, I'll just quickly score this. So this one is going to get 1 point. Move the red over and score another 2, so we're on 3, and this one gets discarded. And unfortunately the other ones are not filled, so you'll see that both players are now on 3. To go into the next round, we simply grab the bag and we fill up. If this bag ever empties and you can't fill up, you just take all the discards and place it back in the bag. Now the game will continue to go like this until one player completes a row during their scoring phase. By that point you'll finish that scoring phase and the game will be over. So now we're on to the second round. Now there isn't a set amount of rounds. I mean, it's going to be a minimum of 5 because it takes 5 tiles to complete a row. But it could last 6 or 7 as well, depending on if players purposely don't finish rows, just so that the game can go on a little bit longer. This bag is empty, so we're going to go into round 6, which doesn't always happen, but the bag's empty. So I'm going to fill all of these back into the bag, and you see how quickly I've refilled the bag. See, that was handy, wasn't it? So let's go ahead and fill up for round 6. Okay, this player's first, and I want to get single red ideally. Oh, but I cannot. So I'm going to take that single light blue and pop that just there. This player needs a single blue or 2 black. I think I want to start working towards the 2 black. Back to this player, they need a single red, or I can start something else. What about 2 black? No, okay, I will take a single yellow so I can finish this row here. Back to this player, I need a single light blue to finish that row as well. So I'll go ahead and take that. Back to this player, and they could take 2 black or 1 red. I think I'm going to take from the middle the red just to make sure that that has been completed. That one goes down the bottom. Back to this player. Ideally I could have done with those 2 reds. Oh, silly me, never mind. I will place I think I'll take the single black and place that down the bottom there. Back to this player's go, and I think they're going to go ahead and take, well, there's not much they can fill in unless it's the black, so they can take 3 black, 2 of them can go there, and 1 of them can go down the bottom. Back to this player's turn. I really do want that blue, but I'm going to lose some points. However, I will finish a whole column, which will get me some end game score. So actually, I will go ahead stupidly and take those, although it will net me more points than I lose. And back to this player's turn, I'm going to go ahead and take the 4 yellow, even though it cannot be completed and it's the end of the game, but they cannot take the 2 light blue. So we'll do that there. And then back to this player, and they have to take the 2 light blue. It cannot go there or there because we've already got one, so these go straight down the bottom anyway. Wow, here we go. So this will end the game because it's going to be a complete row. So this one is going to move over and get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points. So this one's going to move over just into the middle there and get 5 that way, 4 that way. So, and this one will slide over and get 5 that way, 2 that way, so that's a 7. Then we're going to lose quite a few points. 2, 4, 6, 8 points lost here. Wow, okay, so that puts me on 54, unfortunately. Right, back to this player's turn. So they are going to go ahead there and get 7 points. Then they're going to slot this over and get an 8 pointer. This one will move over and get 4 that way, 4 that way, so it's another 8, so that's 58. This one will move over and get 2 points. This one isn't filled up, so unfortunately that won't be sliding over. And then finally losing 4 points there. So we'll just slot that down to 56. So at the moment, this player is on 54, this player is on 56. So let's go ahead and do the in-game score. So you get 2 points per complete row. This one has got 2 complete rows, so they get 4 points there. You then get 7 points for a column, so that will put me on to 65. And then finally 10 points if you have a colour set. Unfortunately, I've got 4 of most of them, apart from red. So yeah, I didn't get any points for the colour set there. On to this player here. So they have got 2 complete rows, which puts them up to 60. And they've got 1 complete column, which puts them onto 67. So 65 versus 67. So apparently playing against myself, I can balance the scores quite nicely. But there you go, that is how you play Azul. So there we go, that is how you play Azul. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Please leave me a comment below if you have any questions about the game. Now my final thoughts on this game. This is one of the most popular games I have ever taken to the club. So I've run a club for about 3 years now. I've had this game pretty much since the beginning of the club running. And it is one that I take almost every week. It's played almost every week. I think because it's so simple to play, but there's a lot of depth behind it. So there's a lot of ways to score points, get your combos. It's quite addictive to play, but yeah, I definitely understand why this one is popular. It plays in about 30 minutes, even if you're playing with 4 players. So the fact that it's quite quick to play is very handy, especially for those who are just looking for a game in between maybe the bigger games. I also love the fact that all the pieces can be taken outside. They're really heavy duty stuff. The player boards are made out of card and so are the tiles, but the rest of it's plastic. So actually, yeah, you could play this outside and no fear of it being blown away. So it's quite a portable game actually. I do love the fact that this game can be enjoyed at any age as well. So I've got an 8-year-old daughter who's been playing this for a good couple of years now and she absolutely loves it as well. So it's definitely a family favourite as well as a club favourite. And yes, I do love this game. That is why I bought the expansion and I actually did the video. So if you check below, somewhere in my channel, there will be the Crystal Mosaic video that you guys can watch. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you enjoyed what you saw today, please consider subscribing to my channel. Please check out my Patreon page as well. For as little as £1 you can get more videos like this. You'll help support me get some more gear and get some better quality videos. And also you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. On those we talk about games all the time, and there's posts about games such as Azul on there. But in the meantime, I will say goodbye and catch you on the next video.